studio mode in case I need to change anything. Hi everyone! Welcome to the PSR Marathon 2018 highlight stream. We are sending you goodbyes with our yearly goodbye stream. I don't think we've actually done this yet, so I can't really call it yearly, can I, Amoeba?
It will be tradition as of this year.
As of this year,
fine.
We're going to make a new tradition to do this outro stream. So we're basically just going to recap kind of what happened over the last year. Well, not over the last year. That's what we did in the intro stream. Over the last week with the marathon. Got some great clips lined up for you. From top clip recipients like Worcester and Pulse Effects, I think, being on the end of 2 clips as well himself. So we got some great clips from the marathon to share with you guys. Some great moments. And we can just talk about how the marathon went in general. How that sound to you, Amoeba?
No, sounds good, man. I'm interested.
Right.
I'll have missed some of these runs, so I'm interested to see what kind of clips we get. Unfortunately,
sure.
I can't go without sleep for 72 hours as much as I may want to.
Oh, same. I definitely tried to go out without sleep as much as possible to just catch as many runs, but I think I only watched about maybe 48 hours of runs over the weekend.
Oh, jeez, man. You still put in more hours than I did, so I'll take that L.
I've got the chat up now, so also, if anybody has anything they want to comment and say they thought went awesome during the marathon, feel free to drop your comments. And
general
gonna
feedback anyway.
What was that, sorry?
I say just general feedback anyway. It doesn't have to be positive things. If you think there's ways we can improve, try and make it better for next year.
Yes, if you would like us not to play ads on accident during the stream, tell us, and we'll fix that, because that did happen.
The Emerald 80% run sponsored by whatever internet package that was a great run.
For sure.
$79.99.
Yeah. So what happened there was the way we were restreaming people's broadcasts, we were capturing them in a browser, and that browser was getting ad playback because it wasn't a Twitch subscriber to the channel. But to note for you guys tonight, talking about Twitch subscribers, you can now subscribe to the Pokemon Speedruns TV channel and get no emotes yet because we haven't created them or had them approved. But hopefully in the near future there will be some special emotes for subscribers to Pokemon Speedruns TV.
Oh, absolutely. We'll get some stuff designed.
That sounds pretty epic to me.
We're looking at using any kind of subs and bits for the stream will be used mostly initially to cover costs for the servers for the marathon themselves.
Yeah, it is important to note that the main reason we're doing that, trying to generate money out of the subs, is for the actual costs, the hard costs of running the marathon. And anything we make beyond that, we will definitely stay in touch with the community about what to do about that.
Well, we'll find ways to put it towards improving the stream.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, every marathon so far, the costs of the not exorbitant costs, but decent whack of money for the server to get the marathon run has come out of the pocket of the committee. Some different people each year. But yeah, it's the community gathering together just to get this marathon set up, and we'd like to hopefully get the support for it.
Yep. So what did we have to talk about? One of the things I wanted to talk about in general was just the quality of the runs we saw. I think Amoeba mentioned it too earlier while we were talking about the stream, is that so many of the runs went underestimate and by huge amounts. So for a great example was the Pokemon Conquest run that I believe Riddleth did, if I remember correctly. And that one went 20 minutes underestimate. So possibly a little bit safe with his estimate there, but also showing some really great skill played by our marathon runners, keeping within their goal times.
Yeah, it's always best to play it safe with estimates, but it's we were consistently well, we never went more than 15 minutes behind schedule, and the schedule itself never included any setup time. It was just, you know, from one run to the next. So every runner did a really good job. You know, it's Pokemon as well. RNG is going to bash somebody in at some point.
Yeah, I think there were a few times where we got behind. There were some technical difficulties we had at different points in the marathon. The biggest one to mention was that JP Zinum's Fire Red Leaf Green round 2 run got cut out in the middle due to a blue screen on the server.
Oh, really? I didn't actually know that one.
Yes, the server crashed.
The server itself, not the person hosting them, the actual...
Yes, I was hosting at the time and thought I made a mistake and something went wrong, and it was actually just the server blue screened and died.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So
coincidentally, when we finished the podcast, so the very first stream we did this week, as soon as I clicked stop streaming, my entire computer blue screened. I don't know if that's just the theme of the marathon.
New marathon theme. Fits well with the yellow splits that I use, where the goal end split is blue screen of death because of Snorm's race he lost to blue screening.
Just seen a quick question in chat about how many subs we need for the channel to become sustainable. The channel has existed and has done the marathon since, what year are we on? 2014, 2015?
Yeah, this is the 4th year, I believe.
Yes, it's the 4th year, yeah. So 0. Literally, we're not here to go, you know, subscribe or the marathon's not happening. Next marathon will happen next year. You know, I've been on the committee for 3 of the 4. I think you've been on the 3 of the 4 as well.
Oh, 2 of the 4.
2 of the 4. So, you know, there's always going to be people willing to step up to the plate. There's been new committee members each year, new people getting involved.
Yeah.
There's always going to be people. We don't need the subs.
Yep. It's
we don't want to have to. We don't want to have to go. You know, we've got this cost and somebody's got to foot it every time. So.
Yeah, it's just something we're doing to relieve some of the pressure from the committee to fund it themselves.
Yeah.
And to improve it in the future.
Yeah, it gives people the option to support if they want. Alan, we were just explaining that actually. We server costs for the marathon is the main one. Each marathon has cost money to host a server to host the marathon, which has come out of the pocket of a committee member every year. So that's the initial cost. Anything past that would be used to either improve the stream. If we run out of ideas on how to improve the stream, I guess donate to charity. It's kind of something that'll be up in the air at the moment, but it's nice to have the option. We definitely not. There's nobody that's going to run off with your money, you know.
Awesome. So that's what we've got lined up for that part. Now the next part of the outro stream that I wanted to go over is actually the highlights I was mentioning. We have a series of highlight clips to play back for you guys that were hand selected by someone. You can probably guess who.
Scripted.
There's totally not a script of which clips to play back now. But the first category of clips that I wanted to go back over were the never happened before moments. That was a top meme from the marathon, was runners in a race setting where they're trying to do the most consistent place possible, still getting things where they can say, that's never happened before. And the first one that I wanted to play for you guys was this moment from Etiquette. I'll let these speak for themselves, but just keep in mind that this is in the never happened before category.
I don't want to say that's never happened before. It hasn't, but that's never happened. Dear Diary, today I was hit by double slap 5 times. That was not planned, guys. Alright, take whatever. On the bright side, we don't have to use our Lepa Berry. Kill her? I don't want to say that's never happened before. It has.
So that was one of my favorites there. Yeah. If I can pause it now. Because not only was there the quote-unquote that's never happened before 5 double slaps, but there was also the great moment that other people clipped. There were different clips that showed this, where Etiquette is commanding the marsh top to kill its love because it's being immobilized so many times.
I love that it was cold right as he did it.
Yup.
Damn.
So that plays into one of the next categories we have is called shots. But there was one more that's never happened before moment that I wanted to play back for you guys. We had from Skoa Go-Go. We had some controversy because the committee members didn't know what was being said in this clip. So this is Skoa Go-Go, and he's doing what is the cave called? I believe it was Chargestone Cave, yes. And that has some RNG with a move called Heat Crash, and Skoa will explain that a bit here.
For the first time as well, I'm also going to finish with the perfect amount of Heat Crashes. So we're going to have two that's never happened before moments in the same cave.
What? Unheard of.
Normally I have to substitute moves. This is the first time ever. Right, I really want to see Iron Defense
For anybody
here,
that can't
thinking
understand the
about
Irish
it.
accent.
For the first time as well, I'm also going to finish...
Oh no, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I say for anybody that can't understand the Irish accent, he said he's got the perfect amount of heat crashes left. Apparently some people couldn't understand it, which is odd. As a British man, like, Skoa sounds completely normal.
Oh, you know what I can do here too is I can link that clip. I can link these clips as we go in the chat. So if anybody wants to see that again here, that's the double that's never happened before from Skoa, and then I'll link also Etiquette's moment.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to talk over the clip there. I can't. There's a delay between me and the stream, so I'm the only person.
Oh no, it's fine. I already
live.
played back and was looping because I'm bad at pausing things. So next, I'm gonna play for you guys some of the what was the moment? This isn't scripted. This isn't scripted. There's no script. What's
the worst who calls his Medichamp?
The called shots. Yes, there's some called shots moments that I loved from the marathon. So I will post the best one quick in the chat for you guys, and then we'll play it back live here for you too. So this moment is there's a Medicham on this route that's really rare, or maybe not very rare, but it's on the rarer side to see it immediately as one of the first encounters, and you have to see every Pokemon in the national dex to beat the round 2 part of the Platinum round 2 category. So he really needs to see a Medicham here, and if I can figure out how to do my transitions properly, which I think I'm doing a decent job at for once, I will play that back for you guys.
And then we're just gonna get Medicham. Like I said, 20%. Medicham. Oh! I fucking told you! I fucking told you! I fucking knew it! Get fucked. World record. Let's go.
So loudness advisory and content advisory on that clip.
I think my favourite thing about that was if you watch the run all the way through, he never stops talking about that Medicham. That's not a dig. It's like he keeps mentioning that they've tried to manipulate, they've tried to and it's a better option to just they routed it out of Iron Island, I think it's called. It's
okay.
And how he'd been doing runs for ages, and he just never found this Medicham. And he was like, in typical Worcester style, he was like, it's going to work. We've saved up all the luck for the marathon. It's just going to work, and it just does. Worcester always does. There's always something in the marathon where Worcester goes, yeah, we're just going to YOLO it, and it works every time. This time it was the Medicham.
60% of the time it works. works.
It works every time.
Every time. So that was I said in the totally not script I have really the Babe Ruth style called shot from Worcester. Then there was one more called shot to show you guys. Let me see if I can dump that in the chat for you. This was a called shot from Crafted on a hypnosis miss, and this one was particularly rare because at the time I think the Pokemon using it had a held item that increases the chance of hitting things with hypnosis. So let me just play that back from Crafted, and he can explain it better than I can. Oh, there we go.
So hypnosis miss, nice. That Musharana's actually got a, what is it, zoom lens, so hypnosis is more accurate.
There we go. From the mouth of Crafted himself, both on stream and in the chat for us. So what we were seeing was the Musharna usually would hit hypnosis there because of the increased chance from zoom lens. And not only did he get the miss, but he called it right before his chance. So that was pretty fun to watch.
Yeah, hypnosis is I'm sure there's a Watchog in the same run that has hypnosis as well. That's a massive one to dodge. It's like 3 turns missing it. Gross.
Yeah, that's what Crafted said. That is a really good miss to get then. That is awesome. All right. What do we have for you? Okay.
Oh, this is my favorite.
This is probably the best clip of the entire marathon. Especially if we go off the raw stats of voted clips and watched clips on the PSR TV channel.
I think it's probably fair to go with a volume warning for this one.
Yes.
Might want to turn that notch down a touch.
By a touch, I mean several notches.
It's good though. It's well worth it.
It is. Okay, let's transition. Don't want to actually not show it, and then.
I think these double dudes were just going up, so yeah, I'm fine. Oh! Oh! I thought I'd run into that double battle there. I really did. I turned way too early, and I almost ran into them. I'm supposed to fight this trainer, but that was
Sorry, I'm like 10 seconds late.
Yeah, it's not. It's impossible not to laugh
Everything's
at.
fine,
It's.
Bill.
He's so excited about it.
I had the stream up. I had the stream up while I was doing something else, and I remember hearing that and being like, "I've got to find the clip," because it like jumped me awake. His reaction so genuine. Actual jump scares.
You wouldn't normally think that would be a really crazy thing because it's not like something bad happened. It's totally what you expect to happen in the run. He didn't hit the trainer, but his reaction to it was just so priceless.
It's one of those moments where you start doing something. It's like, at this point, I'm not sure if it's a mistake or not, but we're gonna roll with it. Find out what happens.
Like if you were just a casual viewer, you would have no idea whether or not he's supposed to fight any of those specific trainers. And he mentions that at the end, like he was supposed to fight this trainer with the Scyther at the end. He wasn't supposed to fight the double battle, which he missed. I made a huge mistake. All right, next up in the totally not scripted hype clips. We're going through here by a few different categories of clips here. So these are the ones that were just some hype moments from the stream. I'm going to play you back this clip, and what you'll want to watch for is as the game's cutscenes end and then the main game starts up again, just watch that process.
Kill the Incineroar and get rid of the rest of this fight. Very, very smoothly.
how making good use of his good AI and switching out for no reason.
Same.
I don't understand.
Yeah, the AI likes to switch out if it has a Pokemon that resists or is immune to the last move that was used.
Are they even
That's
mentioning it
why,
in the?
On Pulse's end, he switched to Leafeon to resist the Earth power that was just used. I didn't see where he switched in Warsam's one.
Mentioning which bit?
To switch to Incineroar.
I don't even think they notice it. That how synced up the games
that's
are.
weird.
Oh, well, they won't be looking at each
Are
other.
we
No,
synced?
it's.
Oh, they say it right at the end.
Uh,
He says it right at the end there. So what happened is they finished the fight at different times, which you kind of expect because it's almost 4 hours into a race run. But because they were running on different hardware, one of them has the new 3DS and one of them has the old 3DS, they resynced and coincidentally almost to the same frame after the cutscene.
yeah, it's. So what is it? Old 3DS hardware could like loses 20 minutes across the run or something ridiculous. Like.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was.
Shows how close the races are and how good the competitors were though, because that's 4 hours into that run.
Did
And
they
they're right next to
intentionally
each
give
other.
the slower game to the person with the faster console to try to make them?
I
little
think
bit
it
more
just worked
competitive?
out like that.
Okay.
I think it's Pulse that's on the regular 3DS. Could be wrong.
Okay.
So, no, actually, I think that's the wrong way around. I think it's Pulse on new 3DS. I don't know. Maybe I should have done my research.
I should have done my research too. But the point is that after 4 hours in a race of 2 different games, they resynced to the cutscene that they shared to almost the same frame because of the difference in hardware that they were playing on.
Shout outs to Crafted doing all of our jobs for us there. So War Tab on the slower route, but with the faster console.
Praise
that doesn't- yeah,
Crafted.
'cause
Thank
they
you
were-
for doing the job of the committee.
How do you think the podcast ever actually functions? I'm just useless, and Scour and Crafted actually know stuff.
All right, back to the totally not script we have of different clips to play for you guys. Got a little self-promotion to do here.
Not
We
all
had-
biased.
No bias at all from this
Well,
clip.
Yeah.
But this one did actually have some good, lot of views on the PSR TV clips archive. So I'm going to play it back for you.
I wasn't even aware this one got clipped, so this was a great surprise.
This is just, you'd think this is just normal podcast going along.
Gets 14th.
Yellow!
Hello. Hi, Tyke. Yellow gets 14th for Bob L. That was excitable. That is me for Emerald. That's up there. 17th for Yaz the Insane. 51st for Marcherifi. It's the pure excitement in your voice.
Marcherify, yeah.
Marcherify, yeah, that's good. But there it
And
is.
Ye's the
That's my
Insane
game.
is the other one.
Yeah, I get like that every time there's a pinball PB. Yes, we can go to the leaderboards this month. We only did
Yeah.
it once, but we got there.
Let's see. I'm going to go back over to the webcam. Yeah, that's just a great example of the hype that a lot of the different people in the community have for the games they play. I think if you told just about anybody that their main game had seen a new PB from one of the top runners, or even like a new runner who's just improving a lot every time they get a new run, they're improving a lot. We'll get hyped like that, and so it was cool to see a lot of people clipping and watching that excitement that we have.
Yeah, it's this is completely community driven, so it's everybody's joy for the hobby and for the community as well that really pushes this kind of thing through.
Mm-hmm.
So it's nice for us to get it's kind of it's a little bit embarrassing in a way that we can get this excited, but it's nice that people enjoy the fact that we're excited about it as well.
For sure. All right, I have 2 more clips that were at the top of the watch list from the PSR TV channel. One of them, or actually both of them, are from people we've already seen clips from. in the in this highlight stream here. The first one is a Worcester clip, which you shouldn't be surprised about. Worcester's pretty awesome. So we'll play that back quick here for you guys.
You need good luck for that to happen there. Night Slash. And that's a crit. Did that one hit? Holy dooly, son. See you later. Sick.
So the classic line invented, apparently not invented actually. We did do our research on this one. I thought it was invented, but Amoeba can explain the holy dooly son.
Not that we have a script, but the script does say Worcester makes up words, and we had to Google it. And holy dooly is an Australian saying. It's I didn't question it when I first heard it because it's kind of similar to holy moly, so it just kind of, but it's not one I've heard before, and Worcester was surprised that it's not one that we've heard before either, because he just took it as a very standard saying. But yeah. Another great thing is, this kind of marathon brings in the real international setting. We've got people from all over Europe, Australia, the US. The Bomb Stew's, although he didn't do a run this year, he's from New Zealand. So he is New Zealand, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
And so that was a great one, just because of his reaction to that critical, the bubble beam critical. I think it seems there's a pattern that crits and getting crit tend to create great highlights. Let's see. I've got one last highlight for you guys that I'm going to play. We'll do the old... Oh, I'm going to post the link to that last clip again for you guys, too.
Hey, Etiquette, thanks for subbing. You're directly supporting the Pokemon Speedruns Marathon.
Did we get a sub? During the hype stream? Okay, I've dropped the link to that clip in the chat for you guys. So, anybody who wants to give a rewatch to Holy Dooly Son, by all means. And then, did I drop the other ones too? I dropped the sync. I didn't drop the yellow excitement.
Yeah. Would like to point out, even though that clip was made by me, I apparently typoed it, and it's holy, not holy.
Apparently, the official saying.
Garfield taught us on that one.
Awesome. All right, so this last one here. Let's see. Do I want to say anything about this one? No, we're just gonna let this one speak for itself. I think this one can speak for itself here.
And then the Jinx with a close combo. Anyone want to do the Jinx cry? I know Keys isn't here.
No, the Jinx cry.
No. I hope he's proud of me.
So that was a classic moment there. I think anybody who is very familiar with Pokemon marathons would know the legacy of Kizaron's Jinx cry.
I like that Jinx cries become a thing. I really hope at some point that Cricketune cry becomes a thing as well.
Cricketune cry? Which one is that? Are you going to give your approximation if you're going to...
It's the one that kind of goes... whoop! Just goes on forever.
That's funny. Okay. So, apparently, not just Jinx, but a lot of our runners like to imitate their favorite Pokemon's cries. And that's a trend we've seen in the marathons, is to go for those. Yeah, so Kizaron's famous for doing it at GDQs, and anytime he's on the couch at a GDQ, you will see a donation message asking for the Jinx cry, if not several.
We should have had a montage ready, just clip after clip.
We should have
every
had
one
a
of the keys
montage of
once.
all of the keys around.
Actually, no. Even better than a montage, we should have had all like 10 or so and played them all at once. Just ruined everybody's headphones.
Okay, note to self. I will post that sometime, somewhere. I will make an overlay of all of the Jinx cries.
That's either gonna be brilliant or awful.
Well, the problem is, I wonder if he does them at the same speed every time. Because if they desync, that would sound hilarious.
That'd be even better. Yeah.
Please do it from multiple people in the chat.
Well, keep an eye out on the Pokemon Speedruns Twitter account for that getting retweeted at some point.
Hopefully we can make that and tweet it out. Yes, okay, so staying on top of Pokemon speedruns over the next year. We have a Twitter, right? If we want to follow the Twitter. How else can people stay on top of Pokemon speedruns? We got a Discord.
Discord's the best one. We have a website, although the forums are dead, the wiki is dead,
Yes.
and the leaderboard's linked to speedrun.com. So at the moment, not that utilised site, but it is there. But yeah, Discord, the Twitter's a good way of keeping an eye on the marathon.
Holy
SRC
cow,
for
we got
PDs.
a bit from Skullagogo.
Look at that #1 badge. You've earned it, bud.
Thanks, Goa. He's got that #1. All right. So that's about all the planned, totally not scripted or planned, content we have for the highlight stream. If you guys had any other clips...
Classic Pokeguy style. Steals that world record straight afterwards.
Steals it immediately. Oh,
Stolen,
Cosmo
taken.
coming in hot with the 4 bits.
Any advances
right.
on 4 bits?
We've got a bit war. I'm
For
feeling
literally
some...
nothing.
Yep. For generic badges. Okay, so yes, that's all the planned, totally unscripted content we have for you tonight.
Got
on
an
the highlight stream.
unscripted question for you if you want, Ty.
What's up?
Other than your own run, what was your favourite run of the marathon?
Oh, that is... You're cutting it right to the core. Okay.
You've got to answer. You've got to put your money down on one.
I'm gonna give 2, but I will put my money on one as the better one. The runner-up would have to be Fire Red Round 2 because that is, in many people's and my opinion, the actual best category in Pokemon speedrunning. Hands down, catching 60 Pokemon and having to beat the Elite Four twice is the epitome of a Pokemon category. So that's just... Seeing that on a marathon is always at the top of my list. But the actual favorite run I had was the Sapphire run, which I guess is kind of cheating again because I was commentating it with Heinz. So I was part of that one.
Yeah.
But it was extraordinarily fun to not only be able to commentate it from the perspective of the English the English Sapphire run, but also hear Heinz's feedback on what the little differences were between English and Japanese with all of the natures. And he actually, from what I was understanding, listening to him and commentating with him, it seemed like he had done a ton of good routing to make sure that he was playing correctly around those different natures.
Yeah, I mean, G Hines is a recognized beast for the Sapphire community. Mm-hmm. That man has done his work. He gets the Exarion seal of approval, which is normally a good sign of a good runner.
Yeah, that is a hard one to come by.
Yeah. There's only a few names listed below Exarion's profile, and Heinz's is one of them.
And I think it's probably up there with the old Amoeba one to watch designation.
Give it the stamp. So we need an Exarion needs a recommended runner stamp, and I need that's one to watch out for stamp.
He is. That is a great way to put it, Araya. Heinz is the TiKevin of Sapphire. One trick pony.
All right. A, don't be so harsh on yourself. B, don't be so harsh on Heinz. Well, I don't actually know if Heinz has run anything else. I know he's. Oh, he did gold. He did gold.
Yeah, he does do Gen 2.
Yeah.
So that's very cool. Anything else in the chat that anybody wants to talk about? Fooler did mention here that his favorite part was seeing Worcester's ROM hack of Red Adventures yesterday.
Oh, we haven't mentioned that.
We didn't talk about that at all yet.
I watched a good. I think I watched the first half of it. I had to go sleep because Worcester is in butt time zones for me. But that is a really well made ROM. Well, it's obviously not finished, but it's a really well done ROM hack, from what I can see. And a bunch of interesting mechanics in it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Did you manage to catch any of it, or?
I did. I'm not familiar with the anime, or not. I'm sorry, it's not the anime. I'm not familiar with the manga at all, or manga, if you want to be really.
I'm not. I know very, very loose details, so I couldn't talk for the accuracy of it, but it made an interesting story.
To me, it sounded really interesting because the story was much more adult themed than the rest of Pokemon, which is also what I've heard about the manga. So,
God, yeah, there's a point where he's walking through a graveyard and gets attacked by corpses. Like, dude, a little bit dark.
Yeah. So that was an interesting one to see because it brought some flavor to the Pokemon series that not only is different than what you usually see, but also somewhat canon because of the manga influence.
It's nice to see ROM hacks getting some more love as well. There's been people that have pushed ROM hacks. People like M Bison has done a lot of ROM hack runs. I'm sure. I think Crafted did a Crystal ROM hack it stays pretty faithful to Crystal, but adds in some extra stuff. So now you've got the bigger runners like Worcester, and I know Exarion's been running I think it's Crystal Clear.
Yes.
ROM hack as well.
Crystal.
Yeah. So it's nice to see that they're getting more love, because I know one of the big successes of one of the PSR marathons, I think it was 2016, was Pokemon Brown. People really loved that run, and I mean I watched it and loved it as well. Yeah, Prism as well. We had a Prism run last year.
Yeah, we're totally not opposed to including ROM hacks as part of the marathon. So if you guys get some really, really optimized and well thought out marathon routes for what am I saying, ROM hack categories, by all means, talk about it with the community, share them, get some great times down.
Yeah, the only reason I think we didn't have any this year is because none got submitted. Which it happens. People don't, people aren't running any at the moment. So, but we had some last 2 marathons.
Yep.
Just makes for a nice spice up. I want somebody to run either Blaze Black or Volt White, just because that's it's a Gen 5 ROM hack anyway. But it sticks to the original games, but you get access to so many more Pokemon.
I'd be interested to see a Cinco Bingo or something like that in the marathon. Because there's a huge scene of that kind of stuff that happens.
Crafted routed some of that. I'm not surprised. I think Worcester actually expressed some interest in it because he said something about RNG manipping some nutty wild Pokemon at the start of the run. something like a Dratini or something shows up real early.
I know since I'm the tasser now, apparently, I have to talk about task strats.
Resident Task Evan.
Resident Task. So, one of the things I've mentioned with, who was it? Shenanigans _ was trying to task a randomized 151 of blue.
Damn.
Because can you imagine trying to find the perfect seed for that, where there's one different Pokemon in each of the first so many grasses, and then also finding ways to catch them all, and finding a good Pokemon to catch to use to fight through getting to all those routes.
God, no, that sounds awful. I'll be honest.
Are you talking about the TAS 151 or the Marathon Cinco Bingo that I mentioned?
The TAS 151. That sounds. 151 is a thing.
All right, I think that's about all the content we have for you guys today. Thanks for watching the marathon this year. Drop a follow to the PSR TV channel to stay in touch for next year. Drop a Discord. We have the link. We just mentioned it a few minutes ago in the chat. Drop a follow on Twitter, and we will be around.